Hey, this is Mark from Newfangled. Today, I would like to talk about um, a, a, a bit of a revelation that we've had recently, relating to the two most important factors that will decide whether or not your marketing is effective. Okay, so we've been involved in helping agencies market since '95, so 29 years. And I've been the person in charge of sales for the past 20 years. And so it's been my job to do everything we can to take on people that we believe we can help the most. Right? That's how I view sales. And we've made a lot of good guesses and we made some bad guesses. There are firms we took on who we thought, yeah, this is going to be a home run. This is the easiest firm in the world to market. And they got no results. And there were firms we took on like, you know, it seems pretty good, but I'm not sure who knocked out of the park again and again and again. Um, and it's a mystery, right? Like all aspects of business, it's a constant journey of trying to figure out what's the right recipe. And that's really all we're hired to do, right? Is to work with the firm to collaboratively figure out what the right recipe for success is. And of course, success means closed business through their marketing. And that's a very complicated thing. And it's a target that's always moving. And we're in a very much in a what have you done for me lately business. It doesn't matter what results we generated for a client, 6 months ago. If they haven't closed something in a certain amount of time, it just doesn't matter. Right. And so it's very much a now kind of thing. And so it's, we're permanently locked into like a direct results based ROI sort of calculation with our clients. And that's intense. It's hard, but it's great because we're doing real work, right? There are a lot of people out there who have advice about things who don't do that work. And that is dubious to me because the work is so hard and it's really complicated and it's always changing. And so we're just like in the arena, right? And we love that. We love that. But because we're there, we get to see patterns, right? And so the two things that will have the biggest the two things that most effectively determine your success on marketing is one, positioning, right? And I mean, anyone who's listened to anything Newfangled said ever has heard this, right? And we're far from the only ones saying it. And the Bureau, actually, Carl Smith from the Bureau of Digital, an awesome organization. If you're not familiar with them, he put out a newsletter. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and he did a survey of his crew. I think he's got 700 agencies in the Bureau or something like that about how people are faring, et cetera. And there's such a wealth of information there. And what he found is that the firms that are doing the best right now in this kind of difficult time for a lot of firms are the ones who are sharply positioned and who are consistently marketing. Back to the last post I had about the dollar cost averaging of marketing. So consistency matters, but positioning. How focused are you in the marketplace? And there are so many different rubrics for that, and we talk a lot about that. But a quick test is basically you have to have a targetable audience. If, for example, you can't buy an email list of those people, you're probably not well positioned enough to market. Whether or not you want to buy an email list, like that's aside, but can you? Is your market defined enough that you can buy an email list of just those people and not have to buy a million emails in order to hope that the right 10% are in there, right? That's a really good test of whether or not you can market this way. And again, our whole world is digital marketing. There are other kinds of marketing, but most firms are going to do this kind of marketing if they're going to market. And so if your positioning isn't sharp enough so that you could buy a list of your audience, then it's probably going to be pretty hard, not impossible, but pretty hard for you to generate results in your marketing. So that's the first thing, and definitely the most important thing by a long shot. But the next most important thing is what's new to us in a certain way. In the patterns we've seen across our client base, the ones who have had the most success are the ones who get to market fastest. Okay. Uh, that's critically important because at least the way we work, we measure everything and we don't measure what we do. We don't care so much about like click-throughs, open rates, page views, that kind of thing, gross metrics. We measure everything based on the exact individual who is engaging with you by name, face, and email. And so as soon as we get in market, which is usually the end of month 2, beginning of month 3 of our work together, we are seeing exactly who by name, face, and email is showing up, how they got there, what they've done since, who's ready for direct outreach, what you should talk about when you have that first very warm sales conversation, all of that. And so because we're able to get to the specificity of that, we're able to collaborate with our clients to refine the system very, very, very quickly. Is that the right person or not? Is that the right person or not? Are they doing the right things or not? How did that sales call go? We're getting to the facts, the real facts of the situation so quickly, as long as we get to market. And so that experimentation time, the refinement, that being in market, seeing who shows up, responding to it, refining the process, that cycle is the heart of marketing. That's when marketing is really happening. And so the faster you can get in a market, the more reps you're going to have at that, because there's an endpoint, right? Marketing is hard, right? For you. That's why most of you don't really do it that often. And it's expensive. It's expensive, not just in terms of money, it's expensive in terms of time, in terms of energy. It just takes a lot. And the truth is, it's not your day job, right? Your day job is to do the work you do for your clients and get paid. And so marketing is peripheral to that. And that's probably my next post about why marketing is peripheral for so many agencies. And so you're not going to be able to do it forever. There's a gap between the time you start and the time you have to see results. And if you don't see results by that time, you're going to stop doing it. And so say we have 12 months. If you take 6 months just to go live, that means you only have 6 months to go through that refinement process to get to the results. Whereas if you go live in month 2, then we get better part of 10 months. And that's a radical difference. It's almost twice as long. And that really, really matters, because once we do see results, then marketing gets so much easier for you, because your mind relaxes because you know, okay, this thing works. Like, this makes sense. You know, if you do this and this and this, that person shows up and I'm really psyched I'm speaking with that person. And I wouldn't be speaking with that person if this hadn't happened. Once that kind of thing starts happening, then you're locked and you keep on doing that for a very, very long time. And you're able to do that dollar cost averaging marketing style that I was talking last time, because you've got the money, you've got the energy, you've got the time, and maybe most importantly, you've got the peace of mind that's going to work. And so the things that get in the way of time to results are, one, just being too precious, wanting every single thing to be exactly perfect. And you know, we're not condoning being sloppy at all, but so often we've seen perfect being the enemy of good, right? And we can't let that happen, because the best laid plans, if you like craft this perfect strategy, is exactly right and beautifully orchestrated, and takes 6 months to do it, and then finally you're live, and that moment after all that work, then you realize for the first time, oh, no one cares about this topic, or maybe no one cares about this topic anymore, and you really thought they would. And you know, we collectively do our best to figure out what is going to make the most sense, but the real way to figure out what makes the most sense is to get in market and see if they care. Right. And that's the thing that no one can fully effectively guess at. So, number one, be sharply positioned, have a specific target market, ideally have a very specific offering. You're offering that specific target market, number one. And two, let's get into market as quickly as possible so we can start that process of observing and refining. And that is the work of marketing. And that is exactly how you see real results in the shortest time possible. So thanks for sitting through this. Bye.